Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for March 2012. Now every year at this time the Sun comes back round into the same section of your solar chart. There's 12 of those sections and they're called houses. And at the moment, up until the 20th anyway, your Sun, or rather the Sun, is in your house of home. So the focus is likely to be on is likely to be on home, or at least it is, as you're the traveller of the zodiac, a base of operations. It might be a temporary base, it might be a long-term base, it might be your actual home, or it can be somewhere that you're calling home for the time being. But it is about where you are planted, your point on the map. And also it can be about family, dynamics with family or a family member who is particularly on your radar at the moment, or tribal connections, community connections, that's right in your own backyard or over the wires. But on another level, it is also about where you are inside, where you're anchored, how you're feeling, what you're, taking your emotional pulse would be a good thing to be doing at the moment. Another part of this position of the Sun is about property matters. It could potentially be about property matters for you. It may be about a situation which is ongoing, and in some respects your gaze will tend to be more inwards though than outwards, because you're sensing, you're feeling, you're pondering, you're remembering and feeling things more deeply at times, more intuitively at times. In fact, this is also the area to do with legacies from the past and what you've inherited from your ancestors. So some of you will be harking back, remembering things about recent past or more ancient past, or indeed functions that you have inherited will start kind of coming out now, and there will be parallels maybe with somebody in your past with the now. Parents may have an influence, particularly down the father side of the parenting line, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. It could just mean parents, or indeed, as it is to do with ancestry, grandparents, great-grandparents, and way back into antiquity. So you might be aware of this, or you might be unaware of it, but this is the kind of vibe that is being picked up on in March. And even when the Sun goes out of there, then on the 24th, Mercury will go into that area of your solar chart, and so it'll keep on stimulating it. There could even be a blast from the past, and you are a little bit surprised by that. But in general, you could just be reacquainting yourself, knowingly or unknowingly, with some part of history, whether that is all of our histories, which it can be, or just your own personal history, and sensing that maybe some ancient or wiser part of yourself, or somebody from your past, is very much, guiding you and helping you in the present. That is another way it can work. Another way it can work is that you're just contemplating traditions and considering an inheritance of some kind. So however it is for you, in general, with the Sun here and then Mercury hard on its heels, you're likely to be feeling more sensitive about things, picking up on things, a lot more going on inside of you, remembering as well, feeling maybe sentimental, some of you. It just depends on where you're at really in your life to know how it's actually going to work out, but I think I've given you enough examples now for you to get the gist of it, so I can move on. But just before I do, just remember, Sagittarius, you being a fiery sign of the zodiac who likes action, is to just give yourself emotional space and inner space to kind of sense and feel and hear this guidance and helping, and this rather sort of mystical feel of the energies, which they can be over the month of March. Now, Mercury is in a very fun-orientated area as the month kicks off, and it'll be there until the 24th. So there might be more entertainment on offer. You might be getting a lot more out of daily encounters or daily pursuits, socializing more, having more of a chance to relax, or feeling more at the center of attention sometimes. And in fact, for some of you, it could spell romance. So there might be admiring glances coming your way. And also at this time with Mercury here, your ability to express yourself creatively and powerfully from your center should increase if you let it, and your mood will tend to be upbeat and enthusiastic with whatever you're mentally focused on, even though there is this background vibe of where the sun is until the 20th. So for some of you also, another way this can manifest is that there's more focus upon children, pets, but also, like I say, romantic partners. Also, you could be weighing up the pros and cons of taking some kind of a risk or a gamble or going for it, you know, whatever the it is. It's also quite a competitive area, so there might be an element of competitiveness in what's going on at the moment. And this is also a signal for you to be experimental, maybe a little bit, particularly when Mars goes retrograde, which it will do from the 12th. So don't expect things to kind of turn out just how you expected them, you know, just almost like you've got to like get in the sand pit and play a bit, and just see what happens and go with the flow. Another way that this can manifest is that you will be finding activities which you get into which you never thought you would, and it surprises you. But again, that is actually allowing that and then going with the flow of that, because if it doesn't seem to lead anywhere, but actually probably when Mercury goes direct again in April, early April, you will begin to get a clearer idea of what it's all about. Mercury retrogrades then into Pisces at the root of your chart on the 24th. The indication here is that there's possibly much information exchange, movement, travel, discussion, hustle and bustle right in your own backyard. It can be one of those or all of them. Also around property matters as well, discussion, paperwork, correspondence, whatever, right in your own backyard. And that can be, of course, nowadays, like I'm doing here, over the wires as well. Also information gathering, correspondence, travel related to property or related to family, a family member, also to past history, and everything I was saying earlier on about the sun, but you're putting your mind to it, the sun's position, I mean. So you're putting your mind to it then from the 24th onwards, and perhaps becoming more consciously aware of how you are being helped by, you know, unseen hands from the past. Perhaps it can work out that way for you. It also points to more contacts and toing and froing within quite a sort of a locality, so more travelling is another way it can manifest, and more socialising at home, near home, in a locality. So all that's looking very sort of busy from the 24th onwards. Until the 5th, things that make you smile won't be far away. You'll be hearing things and seeing things sort of on a daily basis that lead to more playfulness, or perhaps some of you are receiving admiring glances and giving them as well, because it's a very romantic area, or it can mean that just daily encounters are more spontaneous. It can mean your creative juices get flowing as well up until the 5th, and you just feel kind of in a jollier, more self-indulgent sort of a mood. And some of you just feel more valued, really. The 3rd and the 4th looks a little bit bumpy though. I don't know how that might pan out for you, but just you having to be a little bit more serious there. There's more connecting with children as well up until the 5th, very likely. So yes, and pets as well. And then, but from the 13th to the 15th, that's got a lot of potential. That does look very promising and could open doors for you in some way, or give you at least the heads up on something. So then you get this. You feel a little bit more confident. From the 15th, work is then highlighted, and more businesslike. Then you'll probably be in a cooperative frame of mind, wanting to team up or work, one-to-one, or a friendship or some kind of other close relationship is centered around a working environment. You're doing it with them or because of them. You're more in the mood to help out. You're more in the mood to give service. You make yourself available. But also you could find that somebody else makes themselves available to you, that there's tools, that there's something there that you can work with, which is good. Can be around health as well, this area too. So ditto for anything to do with health. You find that you and somebody can function very well together. It might be helping you with your health, enhancing your health situation. And from the 5th onwards, that person can be very helpful. But also it might be the other way around. And also you're likely to have better relationships with co-workers, and anybody providing some sort of a service to you, the doctor, the dentist, the baker, whatever. And it could happen that there is a romantic encounter centered around a working type environment or a health related environment. Now Mars is in a public sector and will stay there for several months. Public sector, by that I mean it's a sector of your chart to do with your profession, how others see you image-wise, in a public sense, but also it's to do with your general life direction. So Mars here for such an extraordinarily long time means that you and your life direction can really cover a lot of ground. It went in there in November and it will come out in July, and so when I say that, I mean that this is the time for you to be more of a self-starter and get more dynamic and more proactive, shall I say, about your life targets, your goals, what you want to achieve, which is going to help you cover ground to get towards that overall target. That you are the archer, you need a target. So to get to that overall target in your life, and we can never get there absolutely perfectly, or perhaps we can sometimes. We feel that anyway, that this is good enough. However, this Mars aspect will really help you with that, and this is a period when you can get clarity and perhaps then make pivotal decisions about where you're headed and how you're going to get there. And then you take pivotal action, and some of it might be having to bite the bullet, because Mars is quite a tough, sort of flinty, but very hot and demanding, pushy energy, feisty energy. So you might have to bite the bullet. You might come up against authority figures or officialdom or bureaucracy or anybody sitting in a position of so-called power, or it might not be like a negative thing. It might be somebody that you very much look up to and admire, like a parent or parental figure. Anyway, it might not be the actual parent, but it might be, and that you've just got to take tough decisions because of, or on behalf of, or in spite of them. And there could be a small skirmish from time to time. In fact, Mars is going retrograde at the moment and will be retrograde until mid-April. So this isn't the time to look for huge victories. This is a time to perhaps come out smiling from a small skirmish or two, but don't throw down the gauntlet for any more than that. In April, the Mars energy then starts to come together in a way so that you can actually see the targets more clearly. You can pull together your forces to go towards this thing or that thing or another thing, as long as you're not too stubborn, about having it all or nothing, which sometimes can happen with the Mars energy being rather sort of black and white, even though it's red. But isn't that a very old joke, or part of a very old joke? What's black and white and red all over? So yeah, it's so just don't look for huge advances. However, advances there will be because Mars is there. But just, be a bit kind of strategic maybe over March, and then you could find also that you're actually having to put physical effort, the sort of like really putting your back into it. By the sweat of your brow, you're making these advances. And Mars is a very physical planet. Now, another thing about Mars here is that you need to be proactive about presentation skills, perhaps image, and you need to be decisive and energetic, because the Mars energy is kind of offering that to you. And you'll navigate your way through, officialdom, parents, and others who are in some sort of position of power over you, or you see it that way anyway. As long as you harness the Mars energy and don't allow the sort of the feistier, angrier side to come in. Yes, be firm and assertive and take the lead and take the initiative, because Mars loves that. But don't lose it, and don't be hasty or impatient. Just allow things to unfold, and you will make progress with the master plan, or with whatever maybe it's to do with a parent or somebody that you want to make sure that they're okay. And also, one last thing about this Mars position is others might start to look to you even more to show direction, to show reliability, authority, to take on more responsibility on your shoulders as well. And now, from the 20th, there's a lighter, more outgoing, yet still very practical vibration around. But there's going to be a conjunction of the new moon with Mercury and Uranus on the 22nd, which could conjure something surprising for us all. I mean, the new moon is going to affect us all, but new moon energy, we usually feel the new moon energy for the subsequent month. But strangely, often the new moon energy is felt in perhaps the week before the time that it actually happens, which in this case will be the days before the 22nd, but also rolls through the subsequent month. So there might be something there of a sort of a magical, a sort of a progressive feeling for you, a kind of maybe rather surprising, rather unusual, but it really does have a good feeling for you, Sagittarius. And these are just the inner planets I've been talking about here, but also they're set against the background of the outer planets, the slower planets. And if you want to know about those and put the two together, what I've said here, then you get a fuller picture. If you go to my website, you can read this material which is on there, or you can listen to your forecast for the whole of 2012, and you hear me speaking about what the outer planets are doing in your chart at the moment. So really, this is a half a reading at the moment, even though it took so long. Sorry about that. And you might like to go and find the forecast for your rising sign or your moon sign, because there will be aspects of that which will add to or subtract from what I've said here. And I will see you the next time.